2026 has arrived. I'm going to show a whole bunch of number one first issues. Let's check it out. Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for checking out my comics closet. I'm Lynn. So it's New Year's Eve, a little after noon today. And tomorrow is going to be January 1st, 2026. It can be a time of new beginnings, you know, like New Year's resolutions, which I'm not really into that much. I just kind of have a plan to try to make all of next year great, you know, let's make it better. I'm going to show a whole bunch of number one issues I got back here. And see, these are, it's a whole box of number ones, which I'm not going to get into that. But I do have I've got so many out. I think this is going to be a two-parter. So I'm going to try to get this one out, and then probably get the second half out, hopefully, as soon as possible. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm not sure. All right, I'm not going to really go into any upcoming shows too much because I haven't got that much time. I know the next one that I'm going to be going to is going to be January 10th, the Warren Elks comic book show. That's at the Macomb Elks Lodge. So put up by Marty Herchick. It's the one I go to. He's got one almost every month. I'm going to the one in January, the 10th, and there's another one in February. I'm not sure of the date. And I don't know if he's going to have one in March because he's got a show on, I think it's April 4th, which is the Detroit comic book and toy show, which has got a lot more artists and stuff. So it's going to be a great show. Looking forward to that. I put a bunch of 9/8s up here that I could show. You know, what I have here first is this. I don't know if you can see that. King in Black, number one. Went out in February of 2021, and it's signed by, oh, this one's not. I have one signed by Cates and Stedman. What did I do with that? I thought I had it, but anyway, I have one just like that. I think it's a 9/6, signed by Donny Cates, Ryan Steckman, who did the whole King in Black run, Null run, you know, the Venom series where Null first appeared, I think, in issue 3. So, there's that, and then I have this, okay, this is Daredevil number 1 in the Wizard Ace edition. You know, I think I have I don't know if I have a facsimile of Daredevil number 1, but I do have, where did I put those things? I thought I had them here earlier last night. I was up till about 2 in the morning getting this stuff out. But anyway, I have a Marvel Masterpiece hardbound copy of, you know, Daredevil 1 through 11. So if you ever want to read the original series, you can always do that. So, and then also there's this is Amazing Spider-Man number 1, the original, you know, volume 1, number 1, but this is another Wizard Ace edition, which, I don't know if you know how the Ace editions work. They've got like a somewhat clear acetate cover with a picture on the front, and then when you open it up, you know, it's a different picture. Either the picture on the front adds to it or uncovers something. They're different. And then also I have this one, which is Incredible Hulk number 1, Wizard Ace edition. So it's, you know, same deal. It's a pretty cool book. I have all the grails in the Wizard Ace edition. Not all, but I have the 3 big ones there: Daredevil, Spider-Man, Hulk one. I have raws of some of these. Plus I have several reprints, you know, Marvel Masterpiece, and I think I just have a couple of facsimiles, stuff like that. So anyway, I got this Spider-Geddon number 1. That was made on 12/18, and that's the Philip Tan variant. Cover B, it says. And I got that in a mystery box from Barry Gary at Terrificon. And I bought that, and it had this, and it had a silver Amazing Spider-Man, or not Amazing, Ridiculous Spider-Man 1, I call it, in there, which I gave away in my last giveaway to Brandy, Psychopunk Chick. I know it was her favorite book, so anyway, yeah, that's, you know, and these are all done by Todd McFarlane. The Spider-Man, he got his own Spider-Man title. He wrote it, drew it, and up to a point for a certain amount of time. And that was released in, what was it, August 96. That's the gold edition. I hardly ever put that up. I've got a couple of silver ones still. I think I've got a silver raw. Got a couple of silver ones that have been signed by Todd McFarlane. That's my favorite. And then there's this other one that's one of the, got the little spider web on the back stamped. And then it's signed by Todd McFarlane. I mean, it was like some of the, I guess, first books he signed up at his brother's comic shop or something in Canada. And then I've got Spawn #1 down here in a 9/8. These are all CGC 9/8 so far. That's also written and drawn by Todd McFarlane. Actually, it says it's the first appearance of Spawn. It was, what, May of '92. First appearance of Spawn in this, in a mainstream book, basically. I know there are a couple of early appearances in some weird, like, one-shot books. I forget what they are now. I've seen a lot of them. They're hard to find. I guess it's the second time the Image logo has been used on a cover of a book. Oh, and it's got a pinup inside by George Perez of Spawn, and then there's a pinup of Pitt, which I have a #1 of those. I think I have it over here somewhere. A pinup of Pitt by Dale Keown inside of it. And then down at the end, very end down there, is a CBCS 9/2 Wolverine #1. First time Wolverine in his own regular series. So I also have Wolverine, what is it here? I have it right in here, in here, in here, in here. Oh, it's right here, I believe. Wolverine miniseries #1, which came out before that. That's, what is that? September of '82, and that's a 9/4 with the custom label, which is the label is the same cover as issue 3. And I was looking at this. Yeah, it's Chris Claremont's story, and this is drawn by Frank Miller and Joe Rubinstein. Did these. So I'm going to put that up here for right now. Because there's also, I have that, and I have this, which is signed by Claremont, which this is the whole collected miniseries, 1 through 4. Signed by Chris Claremont on February 25th, 2021, which is the day after my birthday. And this is actually a 10th printing, 9/0. There's another Frank Miller cover. Pretty cool book. I mean, I have another one that you can read. It's raw, which I think is like the second printing. But I had this one signed. I went and met Claremont, had him sign it. It was kind of cool. So, then we'll go up to here, which is my Silver Surfer 1 in a 5.5, CGC 5.5. With a custom label. Right? Yeah. Which I didn't get that slabbed. I bought that way. I have the whole series, Silver Surfer series. The original series, and I have the whole Fantasy Masterpiece, which the Silver Surfer series goes from 1 to 18. And I have 1, 3, 4, and 18 slabbed at a 5.5. And I also think I have 9 slabbed in a 4.5 because I bought it for like $40. But I've got probably several full series of the Fantasy Masterpiece. I've got a bunch of those, and that's all going to be, all this stuff's going to be going up for sale here in the new year. So hopefully, if anybody wants to be checking any of this out, you can get a hold of me on my Instagram page, and it's Mike Comics Closet, just like my name here on YouTube, or you can email me at mi.comics with an X closet, one word, my.comicscloset@gmail.com. Because I'm going to be selling books. I'm going to have to be making some money. I retired in July, and I need to supplement my Social Security. So, hoping to set up at some of these shows, maybe sell some stuff at auctions. But if any of you out there are interested in anything, you can contact me directly, and we can figure something out. I'm going to try to give some good prices. So, actually, I meant to show this. I do have Spider-Man 1, the original. That's the original normal colored cover. Oh, and I also did have, Wolverine one in a newsstand, which I think I bought this from Barry Gary at a Whatnot auction. I think I just found the invoice. I think I said I paid 43 bucks for it. Well, I had an 8.5 newsstand, and I traded it, and I had a Silver Surfer 1.40. I forget, I think I paid a little bit, but I got a couple books. But I got a book that was from Blue Rat Comics. I traded him and got, I forget what number, Hulk. It's the first appearance of Doc Samson. So it was this and a 4.0. But anyway, I had this pressed and cleaned, and I was going to send it in if I thought I'd get a better grade. But Aaron at Amped Comics Cleaner, who does all my pressing and cleaning pretty much, he said this would be lucky to get a 9. And I'm looking at it too. It's got some couple of bends here that didn't come out. So yeah, I don't know if it'd get a, but still, it's cool. It's a newsstand. You can read it because it's raw. So then I have a CGC 9.2 Spectacular Spider-Man #1, which came out in December of '76. It's a Jerry Conway story. Sal Buscema art with John Romita Sr. cover, and Buscema and Mike Esposito did the interior art. And this is Devil Dinosaur #1 in a 9.2, which I love it because it's Kirby art. It's some later Kirby art, but it's came out in April of '78, which is the year I graduated. I graduated in January. I got out a little early. Off white to white pages. Story by Jack Kirby. Art by Kirby and Mike Royer. And then Dazzler 1. CGC 9.4. That came out in March of '81. Story by Tom DeFalco. Cover by Bob Larkin. And interior art by John Romita Jr. and Alfredo Alcala. It's the first direct edition comic by Marvel. So, and I don't know if anybody's heard of on this book, has the Error edition. There's another issue of that. It's raw. Same thing. Not the Error edition. This one I have Error edition. If you look inside of the Error edition, you'll see that this page of advertisements has no color. So that's the error. It's not a rare error. I've heard people say there's like as many of these as there is of the non-error. But so I have that one, I have this one, which is the Error edition. I don't know if that's going to stay there. We'll see how that works. I'll show you the non-error inside. Right. That's what it looks like in the non-error edition. I think I bought both of these books for like 35 bucks or something. I think it was like 15 for the normal and 20 for the non-error. I don't know, but I got them from Joel Zattel or something, the Underdog King. That's who he is. So I got that, and then we move over to Ghost Rider 1, which is drawn by, where did I put my stuff here? Oh, Ghost Rider 1, CGC 9.4. It's Volume 2, Issue 1. That came out in May of 1990. Story by Howard Mackie. Javier Saltera's cover, and then Saltera's and Texiera did the interior art. And it's the first appearance of Dan Ketch as the Ghost Rider, and the first appearance of Death Watch. I've got a signed issue of that, which I didn't bring over here. I got a couple other Ghost Rider things. That'll be in part 2, a couple more. I meant to switch that out. I didn't do it. And then we go down to, what we got down there? Oh, Kitty Pryde Wolverine. I have a raw copy of that, too. I mean, I have the whole series. I did locate it, though. But anyway, it's CGC SIG series, 9.4, with a custom X-Men cover, yeah. And that is Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, #1 of 6 issue miniseries. signed by Jim Shooter, and it's got Chris Claremont story and Al Milgrom art. We'll go down to the end there. One of the books I always loved, which led right into all the big Avengers, Infinity Gauntlet, and Endgame, which was great movies, but very different from the books. I mean, they just didn't have all the characters. I got some up there. But anyway, that's a CGC 9.4 with white pages. Infinity Gauntlet 1, July of 1991 it was made, and it's signed by Jim Starlin and George Perez, right? Oh yeah, verified, or not verified, witness signature by Starlin on July 31st of 2021. Well, I was in Terrificon when I met him, so I also had him sign some other stuff. I know it's right here. And it's also signed by George Perez, which I had signed in, I think it was like March of '94, right after me and my wife got married. We took our daughter down to Motor City Comic-Con. It's the only really big Comic-Con I ever went to until after COVID. But anyway, and I sent it in after I got it. Well, I sent it in and had the signature verified by Perez, and then I got it signed by Starlin. So that's all those books that are up there. Oh, because no, this is number 2. I do have Double Dinosaur number 2 also, which I got out just to put up there for the heck of it. What's that one? Oh. Oh, and then I did have this, which I had signed by Starlin at Terrificon. It was signed by Starlin, 7/31/21, and it actually came back in 9/8. And then I took it back to Terrificon the next year and had it cracked out. I took it back and they cracked it out, and I had Al Milgrom sign it, and exactly a year later. So it came back in 9/6. I was warned. I can't tell what's... See, it looked like a little bit of a bend in that corner. It was supposed to go back, get repressed and cleaned. But anyway, it's a cool book. So, let's go through the rest of these slabs first. We'll get done with that. And then I can do some of these raw books. See how far we get before it takes too long. I got this Astonishing Tales, Ka-Zar and Dr. Doom, number 1, which is from August of 1970, 75, off white to white pages. Stan Lee, Roy Thomas stories, Jack Kirby and Wally Wood art, Marie Severin and Bill Everett cover. Ka-Zar and Dr. Doom, Kraven appearance, Ka-Zar, Dr. Doom and Kraven, appearance of President Richard Nixon, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin cameos. Which I did not know that until I just read that. Or at least I'd forgotten it. I've got several copies of this book. I love this book. I like Ka-Zar. I always like the Mummy coming up, which I believe is Christoph, I believe. His nephew or something. Doom's nephew. But anyway, that was that. Let's see what else we got. Oh. Punisher Warzone, number 1. It came back in an 8.5. This was like in the first batch of comics I ever sent into CGC. I thought they were all going to be 9.8 candidates. And this one came back in 8.5. And I think they bent it. It's got a corner crunch here. That I know if I saw that it wouldn't have been a 9.8. But it might not have been a 9.8 anyway. But I'm pretty sure that crunch wasn't there. And there's a bend on this, on the die cut. I don't see it now. There was a bend on the die cut part of the cover right there. I'll fix that. I also have this one signed by Johnny Almighty Jr. Which, okay, Punisher Warzone number 1, signed by John Romita Jr. on 3/26/94 at the 30th Motor City Comic Con, because I wrote my own little certificate of authenticity there. And I think I have a couple, or at least one other copy of this as a reader. So I'm going to put that up here. Boom. And then we'll go to, got Kamandi, Last Boy on Earth, number 1. and a 9.0. As DC Comics, October or November of '72. Jack Kirby story, Jack Kirby and Mike Royer, cover and art. Origin of first appearance of Kamandi, first appearance of Dr. Canis, and Ben Boxer. Oh, and the Statue of Liberty cover. I guess that's a collectible thing. People do collect Statue of Liberty covers, and I do have a Kamandi The Last Boy on Earth #2 that I picked up. Pretty rough, but it's readable. And I have this Predator #1 in a 9.0, CGC 9.0, which I had right here. Boom. So I got these two, a 9.0 and an 8.5. Sam De La Rosa signed it on April 9th of 2022. Dark Horse, June of '89, 8.5 with white pages, cover and art Chris Warner, interior art is Sam De La Rosa, story is Mark Verheiden. First appearance of Predator in comics, first appearance of Schaefer, Dutch's big brother, and Rash. So, 2 copies of Predator. Got the Terminator. I thought I had a graded copy of that. Yeah, there it is. Terminator in a 9.4 with a reader. Got the reader there. Let me just put this in here and cover it up for a minute. Boom. Sideways. So anyway, there that. First Dark Horse issue. John Arcudi story, Chris Warner and Paul Guinan art, and Chris Warner cover. Terminator 1, Dark Horse Comics, August of 1990. A 9.4 with white pages. So got those. Kind of cool. Oh. Let's go over here. Got this Black Hawk #1 DC comic. I also have this copy of Black Hawk #1 as a reader. But yeah, I got this. Had it signed by Howard Chaykin. Howard Chaykin signed this on May 14th, 2022. So that was at Motor City Comic Con. This was from 1988, direct edition, cover art and story by Howard Chaykin. First appearance of Natalie Reed, later becomes Lady Blackhawk, and it's a flag cover, which I do collect. You can see it's signed right down here by Chaykin. So that's a cool book. I thought I might get a higher grade. It's kind of it's a big square bound book. So I might as well show these since they're sitting here. Put that there. This is She-Hulk, Sensational She-Hulk #1. Same thing, signed down here by John Byrne. Then I have this one, which is just the reader. Signed by John Byrne, same thing, 3/26/1994 at the Motor City, the 30th Motor City Comic Con. Sensational She-Hulk #1. And these, if you see, I got them in a binder, or a comic book page holder that goes in the binder. I have this as a nice reader. And if you don't watch out, you can make a mistake and pick up the last issue. Looks almost exactly the same. I've got a couple of those. I don't think I have it graded. But then here is John Byrne's Next Man #1, which same thing, signed on 3/26/94 at the Motor City Comic Con. And I do also have a reader of that. So just like, I may send these in and get them verified. This one's really nice shape. I know I read these. I mean, this is my original #1 that I bought, but I try to keep them in good shape. They were in boxes. All right, let's go back up to here. Well, I don't want to do that one yet. Let's go here. This is, oh yeah, Warlock Chronicles, number 1, foil cover edition in an 8.5, CGC SIG series. And this is signed by Tom Rainey, Jim Starlin, and Keith Richards on 7/31/21 back at Terrificon. Starlin story, Tom Rainey, Keith Williams cover and art. But, I mean, that's Rainey and that's Starlin. Oh, and Keith Williams there. But it's a foil cover. This corner's blunted. I don't know, it looks like maybe the cover is scuffed. I wanted to get it signed. I took it with me. And it came out. There it is. Alright, let's go with this. Rob Liefeld's Youngblood, number 1. This is the original, Youngblood number 1 in a 9.4 CBCS. And this is cover and story art by Liefeld. And story by Hank Canals? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is an image book from April of 92, direct edition. First appearance of Youngblood with Bad Rock, Shaft, Die Hard, Chapel, Vogue, and Photon. It's also a flip book. And first Image Comics emblem based on the copyright date. So that's the first Image Comics emblem. Spawn there is the second Image Comics emblem, logo, however you want to call it. I got a bunch of other stuff by Liefeld. I got X-Force. I thought I had that in here. Well, we'll come up on it. I also have this Alpha Flight 1 in a 9.6, which is a book that I won. I went to the Dawn of the Collectors show. I don't know what it was. First time I went to the, got there for the early bird drawing, and I won, very first thing. And I have a reader of this. Out over in that thing. So anyway, when I pull that out, we'll see it. But this is 9.6 white pages. Marvel book was August '83 direct edition. Cover by John Byrne, Terry Austin. Art story by John Byrne. So these are all John Byrne. I love John Byrne's art. And then first appearance of Puck, Marina, Tundra, Origin of Alpha Flight, Spider-Man, or Origin of Alpha Flight, Spider-Man, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Thor, Fantastic Four, Captain America, and Daredevil cover. So, Alpha Flight number 1. Yeah, I've got the whole Alpha Flight series, I think. I just love this book. Shadowhawk number 1, which I've shown quite a few times. It's one of my favorites. It's black book with a silver foil cover and a 9.8. Looks like there's something on there, but Image Comics, August of '92. Jim Valentino, story and art, and Jim Valentino. Oh, and Rob Liefeld cover. I didn't realize Liefeld drew that. Might have inked it, I don't know. Embossed silver foil cover, Image Comics 0, coupon included. So the coupon is not cut out of that because I have owned it since it was off the rack. And another image book, Pit number 1, which is Dale Keown art. Cover and art, was it Brian Houghton story. But yeah, Pit number 1, 9.8, CGC, Image Comics, January of '93. First appearance of Pit. Pit pinups by Sam Keith and Jim Somerville. So, another cool book. Some of them I may have to get pictures of. Alright, let's go to here. Darker Image number 1, which was signed, okay. Darker Image 1, 9.0 white pages, image book, CBCS slab, cover and art, story by Sam Keith, art and story, Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, story Brandon Choi and William Mesner-Loebs, who signed it. William Mesner-Loebs signed it on 2/26 of 22, so 2 days after my birthday. So it's the first appearance of Max, Blood Wolf, and Death Blow. character appearances that look like Lobo and Cable. It's removed from the poly bag, which, yes, you would think it was, since it's signed and in a slab. All right. Sleepwalker number 1 in a 9.0. Came out June of 91. Signed by Bob Budiansky on February 24th of 24, which is my birthday. Bob Budiansky story, Brett Blevins cover and art. I've got some books signed by Brett Blevins. I'll have to take this. First appearance of Sleepwalker. Direct editions have an upper deck insert in them. So, most of these books that I had signed and witnessed, I had CGC press on CCS, I think they call it. So, all right, let's go to this here. X-Men 1, which I believe is the biggest selling book of all time, right? X-Men 1, Marvel Comics, October of 91 and 9.6, signed by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee on 8/17/24. I might have sent this in. No, I'm not sure. I met Chris Claremont. I didn't think I met Lee. I don't know. Chris Claremont story, Jim Lee and Scott Williams cover and art. First appearance of Acolytes. 4 different covers exist that form a single image, which is that's. What does it say? Does it say what cover it is? I'm not sure what cover it is, but that's the one that I have signed, and I've got like 4 full sets of this. Well, here's a Rob Liefeld X-Force number 1, which of course has the free trading card enclosed, and the only one that's really worth anything is the one with the Deadpool card. I think that's what this is, but it's covered up. I'm not going to be able to see it. I'm pretty sure this is the Deadpool card. It's still in a poly bag. You used to be able to see it. That's funny. All right, I can't get it to show. There it goes. Funny. Oops. Anyway, but I can see it is. If you look at there, OOL, it is a Deadpool card. So, and I've got all the cards. I got 3 or 4, maybe 5 Deadpool ones with a Deadpool card. I've got a binder that's got like 5 or 6 of the X-Force 1s in it. Anyway, so I have this. I'll put that in for a second. Futurama number 1 in a 9.8, which is Bongo Comics. Bongo Comic Group 2000, San Diego Comic-Con Special 2000 inclusive variant, and it's signed by Bill Morrison with the Bender sketch down there, which looks a lot like the Bender sketch that I got that I have framed on my wall over there, that right there. And it is what? Covered by Matt Groening, art James Lloyd and Steve Shear, story Eric Rogers and Bill Morrison. So Bill Morrison wrote the story but drew the sketch here. First appearance of Fry, Drangolila, Bender, Professor Farnsworth, Hermes Conrad, Dr. Zoidberg, and Amy Wong in comics. Witness signature Bill Morrison with a sketch on 2/26/2022. And he does all the Simpsons stuff too. Put like that so it'll fall over. Which is Simpsons number 1. And I do have a do have a raw copy somewhere. But I have to put these on here so I don't knock them. Then I also have, I didn't go out of the back. Itchy and Scratchy #1, signed by Bill Morrison, on 2/25/2022. First Itchy and Scratchy in their own title includes a pull-out poster, Mongo 1993 Direct Edition, 9/4 white pages, cover art and story, Steve Vance and Bill Morrison, art by Mike Mullo and Harry McLaughlin, and story by Cindy Vance. So this cover was done by Bill Morrison anyway. And then there's also Artman #1. It's a Radioactive Man back cover. This is same thing, Bongo 1993, 9/2 white pages, CBCS, signed by Bill Morrison, cover by Steve Vance and Bill Morrison, art by Phil Ortiz, Bill Morrison, and Tom Bavington, story by Steve Vance and Cindy Vance. Got a centerfold pinup and includes a poster insert, silver foil cover. So I got that, it's signed right there. And I know I have a raw copy of this, which will probably come up on here in a minute, because I just noticed. Well, and I also have this from the Ren and Stimpy show, Powdered Toast Man Special #1, which I think I got at the same time I bought that Youngblood #1. I got this and that. I forget what the other one was. It wasn't the #1, but they were, 2 for $50. They were $50 each, or 3 for $100. So I bought 3 of them. Let's try to take off on me. All right. So let's see what else I have here now. Let me get these out of the way. Oh, and I have, not signed, but it's Bob Burgers #1, from the creators of the hit TV show. I don't know that much about it. I actually got this in a mystery box from the Dorkeries a couple years ago, at least 3 years ago. Recent sale, $42.98 on 3/16, which was not that recent. First Bob's Burger in comics. I'm gonna put this off to show later. I have this one that I won from Sleeping Giants, I believe. I don't think I bought it. I think I won it in a giveaway. Infinity Countdown #1, C2E2 convention exclusive, Marvel Comics 2018, signed by Dave Bautista on April 7th of 2018. Got the certificate of authenticity. It's got Drax and Mantis on the cover. Not sure who that art is. Right there. But anyway, yeah, signed by Bautista. Kind of cool. Oh, then I have this Beowulf #1, a DC book. Not sure who draws that, but I picked this up. It was cheap, probably a couple bucks, and it was I have a Beowulf. I think it's Beowulf 4, where he's holding open the mouth of a dragon. My sub collection, people in the mouth of the beast. What we got back here? Oh, there's the Raw Simpsons #1. Couple ticks, but you can read it that way. Okay, then I have this, which I always wanted to get. I remember having this when I was a kid. I love this cover. DC book, The Forever People, #1. It's Kirby art. Forever People of Supertown. Try the boom tube if you dare. And so it's got Superman. I don't know who this is. Beautiful Dreamer. I don't really remember. It's in pretty good shape. I think I paid almost $100 for that. It's a cool book, and I did buy this, which I don't know what it says. It's only a couple bucks. Looks like it's got a big subscription crease on it. But it's Forever People #2, you know. First couple, and then there's this I picked up the other day. I think it was in a dollar bin. Forever People. Maybe it was in a. I think it was in a dollar bin. Forever People #1. I don't know what year this. February of '88. 6-issue miniseries. So it's a similar cover. No Superman. But I don't know. I just picked it up because it looks like that one. I know. So move these out of the way here. All right, here I have another DC book. Spectacular first issue Vigilante #1, which is a Brian Pollard cover who does the Judge Dredd stuff. Should have grabbed that. I have Judge Dredd #1. And then I also have Vigilante #2, which is a cool book. I mean, I think it's still a Pollard cover. He does some crazy art. And I picked this up, I think, pretty cheap, just because I knew I had Vigilante 1. Never read Vigilante before, but it's a cool cover. I like to pick up #1 issues there. I've seen a lot of people talking about that one. And then I grabbed this out. I just happened to see Justice League Europe #1, April of '89, it says. And I mean, I don't know if anybody even knows about this or anything. If anybody collects these, got the JLI logo, Justice League International, but it's got Metamorpho on the cover. He was one of my favorite DC characters. I always liked Metamorpho because he was such an offbeat thing. Actually, he was in this in the #1, but I remember reading the Metal Men when I was a kid, and I think Metamorpho was like the backup stories in a lot of these. So I used to like Metamorpho, and I got some of his books, and I saw this a while back. I thought it was cool. It was Metamorpho #1, which is it's a modern book, but it's cool. He's standing on a big floor that looks like the periodic table. But then I did pick this up later. I think I got this from Travis Morris's Comic Stash, but this is Metamorpho #1. August of, I forget what year. I can put it up if I look at, but it's the first Metamorpho in his own title. Like I say, he was in the Metal Men titles. Probably was his first appearance. You know what? That's probably going to be it. That's a bunch of stuff there. Got my Turok #1 over there. If you don't have to pull that out and show it at the end of my next video. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to end this up right now. And we will pick it up later. Show some more #1 books. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And keep coming back here to my comics closet where we bring comics and comic collecting right out of the closet. So Happy New Year. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Thank you.